Hi artists, welcome to Mrs. Gelaro's art room. Today to get us started, we are going to make recycled art portfolios or art journals. Yours will look something like this, and these are going to be used by us to keep our art projects in this year, or all the Mrs. Gelaro's art room lessons we can put in here and we won't lose track of them, and we'll end up with a really cool portfolio of our art. So to get started, the pages in your art journal are going to be 6 by 9 inch pages with 2 holes punched on top. If you don't have 6 by 9 paper, you'll need to cut that out by measuring. Or if you have a paper this size, construction paper usually comes in a 12 by 18 size. You can create your own 6 by 9 by folding it in half, folding it in half again. Then this new shape or size, each one of these, if you cut along your fold lines, will be 6 by 9 and you'll be all set. If you have a paper punch, you can punch holes at the top like this. Okay, let's get started with the cover. So you need to find a box, like a cereal box or an old Amazon box or whatever. I used an Amazon box, and perhaps your parents can help you with this part because it's sort of hard to cut cardboard sometimes. But mine has writing on some parts of it. Well, it does on this one. And this needs to be cut by 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches. So maybe have a parent help you with that. Pause the video and then come back and rejoin. Okay, once you have this cut, you're going to trace another one and have 2 cuts. So you have a front cover and a back cover. And if you have a hole punch, punch holes in it to match the holes in your paper. If you have rings, you can put rings like this, binder rings, to hold it together. If not, you can use string or whatever you have for now. Be creative. But we are going to make this sort of superhero looking art burst design on the front of our art portfolio, just for fun. Okay, so to start out, you are going to write the word art in plain letters with pencil, but fairly big. Oh, and your letters probably should be capital. And art, the word art only has 3 letters, so that goes pretty fast. About that size. Not too dark because you're going to have to erase that, but I want to make sure you can see that. Can you see that? Okay, good. Okay, now to make block letters, we're going to take our pencil and go around the outside. Of our stick figure letters. And then when we finish that, we're going to erase what we did at the very beginning, so we are left with block letters. Now, if it's taking you a minute to do that, feel free to pause the video anytime so that you can catch up. Now, you want to have a pretty good eraser. I really like this eraser. It's an art eraser. Oops, I think I forgot to draw this line right here. Works really, really well, but whatever eraser you have, erase the first lines that you drew, okay? Give you a minute to do that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Which I can fix right now, is I forgot to go inside the little opening inside of my A. So I'm going to do that right now. There you go. Okay, now you're going to take a dark marker and go over your block letters now that you've erased the inside part. So do that now. When I'm doing art demonstrations, I go pretty fast because I don't think you want to sit here forever watching me outline mine. But you take your time Take as long as you want. Okay. Now I have the word art, kind of like I have the word art here. I think I made it a little bigger this time, don't you? Okay, now we're going to make our first burst. So the burst I'm making here now is similar to the one that's surrounding the yellow part here. And your burst has to be smaller than your letters. So I want this burst to be going right through my letters and not too close to the bottom of my page. So see how it's smaller than my letters? And then you're going to go ahead and go over that with your marker again, kind of like you did with the letters. And this should be fun. So just freehand it, make your burst, because what we want is we want the word art to look kind of like it's just bursting out. Okay. Now you're going to make this outside line first with your pencil and then with your marker. So I'm kind of retracing my steps here, but only making this one bigger, quite a bit bigger. And you know what? If I go off the page a little, which I did on this one, I am okay with that. I'm the artist, so I get to make those choices. Okay, now I've got my outside burst. And I'm going over it with my black marker. Now, if you don't have a black marker, you can go over this with whatever works for you. Sometimes when I'm doing art and I'm listening to a tutorial or a lesson, I don't have the supplies that they're suggesting. So I just use the supplies that I have that I think will work. Okay, now it's time to color it in. If you have markers, you can use markers. And if you don't have markers and you have crayons, you can use crayons. For this one, I first colored that in with markers, and then it wasn't like bright enough or popping enough for me. So I went ahead and I put crayon over the marker for sort of a double layer of color. And then right here, you need to put by and your name with your marker. You can choose what color to color your different parts, but you want the letters, the inside burst, and the outside burst to all be different colors. And I think it looks good if you have a really bright color for the word art, for the letter, and then something that has a lot of contrast. It's easy to tell the difference between the yellow and the red because they have a lot of contrast. I wouldn't want to put red and then put orange because the word art wouldn't stand out. So you can use whatever colors you want, but think about them ahead of time. Okay, I hope you enjoyed making your art journal, our recycled art journal. We're using up some of those boxes we're getting. So again, last step is go ahead and color in the different parts with marker or crayon, or like I did, both. See you next time.